going on, everybody? We have a very interesting live today. Something that I'm really pumped about because we actually have some algorithms, some scripts around these particular types of trades. And those types of trades are trading stocks, but on the blockchain. And there is some really, really amazing things that I think everybody here is going to like. And not just as it pertains to like the ability to now trade stocks on the blockchain, but in regards to our ability to actually win when we do trade. All right. And so I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to share my screen because I want to show everybody what GTrade has actually come up with. And I'm really, really pumped. We've been asking them for a really long time for this. And they finally said, all right, here we go, guys. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. So again, finally, we're able to actually trade on stocks on the blockchain. And the cool thing about GTrade, and this is one of the reasons that I'm really interested in GTrade more than any other derivatives decentralized exchange out there. One, obviously, they're decentralized. For those of you that aren't, in with decentralization, it is a way for you to, you don't have to set up a brokerage. You don't have to do anything. You can just have a little bit of crypto. You transfer your crypto in there and you're able to start trading like right away, right? But two, GTrade has multiple different things, such as like they have Forex. So you can come in and trade your favorite Forex pairs. They have commodities. They only have two right now. And then obviously they have some indices right here. This is really cool. We actually have some script for these indices. I'm only going to show you the stocks today because I didn't have time to put together the rest of the stuff. But these are all the stocks that you can also trade right now. And these are called real world assets. Okay. For those of you who don't know, real world assets are things that we can buy in the real world right now. Real estate, stocks, those sorts of things. So this is a pretty cool, again, really cool aspect of being able to trade on the blockchain. You don't have to have a brokerage. You don't need a wire transfer. None of that garbage. All right. None of that garbage. All you have to do is come here and literally with one click, you can start buying, your favorite stocks. And I'm sure they'll be adding more here in the future, but they do have, the most popular ones. NVIDIA. I think like I was watching something today that NVIDIA just came up with like this new like router or something that can handle like, I don't know, 100 times the traffic of the internet, just one of them. Like the entire internet right now. So like NVIDIA is probably a good one to be looking at right now, right? I mean, Apple's they're just always on top. They just keep always growing. I'm just like, man, this is these are some good stocks. Google, I don't know. Google is kind of falling behind compared to ChatGPT. Meta's got some good things coming. Microsoft, Snapchat. I don't know too much about Snapchat, but I guess it's a popular pair. And then obviously Tesla. Tesla is I don't know. I have a mixed bag about Tesla. Who knows what'll happen with Tesla, because people just be hating on Tesla. But then again, I don't know. Are there like people not hating on Tesla or like just as aggressive? Like a friend of mine just told me he had his car vandalized like in the middle of the freeway in California the other day. And I was like, wow, that's really unfortunate. But anyways, Tesla still, they got the Tesla robots coming out. Still a good stock to buy, in my opinion. But I don't do stocks, so don't take what I say about stocks with a grain of salt, except for these different types of scripts that we do have. So I'm going to actually go and I'm going to buy some NVIDIA here live for y'all. And by the way, can everybody here do me a favor? Can you all smash that like button and share this video? Because we do want to get this out. We want to get people learning about the fact that they can now trade stocks on the blockchain. And this is the power of the blockchain. People just think, it's like you're just going to be able to do payments or something through XRP, and that's the power of the blockchain. It's not. You can do banking. You can provide liquidity in order for people to trade NVIDIA and all these different things, all right, and earn money doing that, okay, in here. And I know GTrade has their V10 coming out here, and it's going to be even better for liquidity providers coming here very soon. But in terms of GTrade, and by the way, there's a link down below if you want to use my link to start trading GTrade. I actually teach a course that involves GTrade on here, and we've got a lot of new students that are making lots of money using GTrade right now. Like everybody's in the green right now since we started teaching it, which is really cool. It's really awesome. So anyways, let's get to buying this. So I do have my one-click setup, okay? And I've done videos on how to set up one-click. I should do just like one informational video on how to do one-click. Guys, I'm drinking my coffee, as you can see, so I'm doing two things at once here. I'm killing two birds with one stone. So, so I have my one-click setup here, all right, and I'm able to trade NVIDIA with up to, whoa, okay, this is way more than it was earlier, up to 50x leverage. Before I could only trade it with, or it was only showing 4x leverage. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay, so the leverage got knocked up here. So I can trade it up to 50x leverage. For those of you, for those of you who know me, you know that I don't use that large of leverage. Like the most amount of leverage that I would use here is 2x leverage, and especially like our strategies that we're having, they're not meant to be used with leverage. But what I would do in this case, I would just do like 1.1 if it's my strategy that doesn't use any leverage. Whoops. And I believe that GTrade is going to be coming out with you can go like you use even less leverage than 1x. You can do like 0.5x, which is really cool. I think that would be a really, really cool feature. Because your liquidation levels go way down, and you can have like a bullet system which is what we teach here at the ARC. So let's take a look at let's actually do 2x leverage because I like NVIDIA. All right, I have $170. I know you guys are probably like, dude, this is all that guy trades with. No, this is just like the example wallet. Come on, give me a break. So what we do here is we're going to set it up with 2x leverage. And let's take a look at some of the things. So my execution price would be 133, and I am doing a market order, which means it's going to fill right away. So it's just going to take the most available price, the most available seller right now, and that's what I'm going to end up getting. Here's the spread. All right, the spread is 0.02. So this is like what I would pay versus the amount of liquidity that's available there. Sometimes this can get very high, so you want to pay attention to this, especially if you're buying large amounts of crypto, or not crypto, or stocks even. Excuse me. You want to make sure that there's enough liquidity to make sure that your pair is definitely liquid. And then you have, let's see here. I'm going to use the max here. So my notional value is going to be 341 USDC that I'm using to trade today. All right. So, and that would give me 2.55 NVIDIA. All right. And by the way, it's been so long since I bought stocks. And when I did, I was like, I wasn't really that into it. I bought like Apple once from, I don't know, TD Ameritrade. But let me know, like, are you able to buy like fractions of a stock? If not, here you can, which is really cool. I think you can buy a fraction of a stock. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. I think that would be kind of dumb if you couldn't. All right. And then there is a fee to get in, which is 1.4 USDC. All right. Now, here's the part you want to really be paying attention to. All right. your liquidation price. Your liquidation price, okay? So many people, they ignore this. They're like, no, I'm going to be rich. Don't worry about me. I'm super cool. All right. But this is where the rubber meets the road. Now, being that it's NVIDIA, you know, like, I don't think it's probably going to go down to this for at least a long time. I think I see NVIDIA as like Apple. I mean, honestly, NVIDIA is just like innovating. They're not really ruffling people's feathers like Elon Musk is. But, you know, the liquidation price, this is something I'm really comfortable with. That's just basically 50%. It has to go down by 50% in order for me to get liquidated. Now, you do want to pay attention to certain things, you know, and I'll come down here. Like, you know, you want to take a look at your liquidation price, and you're going to want to keep watching it, because depending on who's shorting and who's longing the market, all right, that's going to determine my borrow fee or my shorting fee if you want to short it, which our script does short it. I'll show you here in a second. But these fees, if you're just going to like buy and hold, they can add up. All right. So take that into consideration. All right. And they could bring your liquidation level down. Now, I'm more of a longer term, like really long-term swing trader. All right. And here's the way it works. Like these fees, this fee could add up to like 100% per year. All right. But what ends up happening is when there's more shorters than longers, those fees now start to get paid to me. Okay. And there's an offset. And, you know, all in all, typically off the money that I borrow, I usually end up paying like 30%. Now, the cool thing is you only pay off of the money that's borrowed, not the whole thing that grows, right? So like say for instance, right here, this is an FXS trade that I made a few weeks ago. I'm up 83% already on this trade. All right. And here's the thing. I'm only paying interest on $198. So let's say this thing moonshots 10x. All right. I'm not going to pay, like my position right now is worth, how much is my position worth? My position is 79 frac. So I guess it's worth about, no, right now it's worth about 198. Sorry, right? No. I don't know where it is. I know, here's my collateral. This is what I actually put in. This is what I used. And I would have to do the math to see what it is. But anyways, the long and the short of it is I'm only going to be paying interest on this $198, okay? Not on what it grows to. So if it grows to like $1,000, I'm not paying 30% on $1,000. I'm paying 30% on $198. All right. So that's the key thing that a lot of people don't understand. They think they're going to get feed to death, but that's not the case. Okay. And I just unwound 50% of this. This is why it's exactly 198. The price of fracs has not fluctuated. But anyways, all right. So this is so now we've got, you know, our estimated borrow fee. And the most important part, you want to put the refer as Swami Crypto. All right. You want to put the refer as Swami Crypto. All right. So let's go ahead and open this long. So again, right here, you'll have the option, if you haven't already set it up on GTrade, to do one-click trading. I highly recommend it. All right. Throw in 20, 30 bucks. It should give you, I mean, a ton of trades. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit market long. I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. And if I come down here, my trade for NVIDIA is now active. All right. So, oh man, I'm down already. Just kidding. All right. So anyways, these are actually the 3 trades that I have here, and I'm going to go into the scripts here. So don't leave, because I have some really cool things here. All right. So these are some of the trades that I have right here. This is XRP. I used my 3-bullet system. I'm up 36% right now. I think if you were to be like from when I got into XRP, you'd be up only about 10% right now in just the hodl. In mine, I use leverage responsibly and in a way that that I can make way more money and keep my other amount of money in my stable coins. I have plenty of videos on that in my YouTube. All right. So go back, take a look at it. Or maybe Jordan, maybe you can drop that video, or Renee, drop that video in the chat so people can see it. All right, let's get to the juicy part. Let me drink a little bit of my cappuccino though. Yum, yum, yum. With a little bit of stevia to make sure the midsection doesn't grow too much. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the scripts that we have going on. All right. So we have currently 2 that I want to talk to you about. All right. And let me zoom in here a little bit so we can see. So let's say, for instance, if you would have bought Tesla back when we started our trade, all right, when we started our trades with Tesla, you would be up 81% right now. All right. And I believe this is March 18th of 2021. Okay. Now this is this is when we started the Tesla script. March, actually it's less. It was so small on the screen today, but now that I'm zooming in, it would have been up here. So you're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe you'd be up, who knows, in 4 years, you'd be up, let's say 70 some percent. All right. 70 some percent, or maybe even 60 some percent. Okay. Now, let's take a look at also the key thing here, which is max drawdown. Okay, so for me, max drawdown is super important. Like, I don't like hodling. I don't like tribalism. I'm done with that. I'm not a Demopublican. I'm not a Republicrat. I'm me. And I just see the technology for it is. Like, I see Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. I see Ethereum as the next supercomputer. I see Solana as the potential next supercomputer. I see XRP as the next way to transfer value quickly. I see it all. All right. And that's why I'm invested in all of these things. But notwithstanding that, there's one thing that I don't want to ever see again in my portfolio, and that is drawdowns like these. This is Tesla. Okay. A big stock that's supposed to be, you know, safe and all this stuff. At its lowest point, it's been, if I would have gotten in from the high up here all the way down to the lowest point, I would be down 73%. Okay. So my drawdown, now I could have bought in less. I could have bought all these things. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, let's say, for instance, if you bought Tesla at, I don't know what Tesla trades at. Let's see here. Let's say, I don't know, you bought Tesla at $100. Okay, good for you. And you rode it all the way up to whatever it went up to, $700, or I don't know, $500. All right. And you're like, awesome. And then and then it comes down all the way to like $150. Well, you would still be up 50%, but you didn't capture the value. And this is why, like, understanding drawdown and like stop being so tribalistic and like figuring it out. This is why it's super important to be finding scripts like these. Now let's take a look at here. All right, here. So by the way, this blue line, all right, this blue line is if you would have held Tesla. And this green line is if you would have used this script. Now, there were times where, and you can't see it because it's so small down here. There were times where the script was not outperforming a buy and hold. And these scripts are meant for like long term. It's not, if you're looking for just like quick instant gratification, go to the meme coin lottery on Solana and let me know how that works out for you. All right. Or GTrade. You could go to GTrade too. All right. On Solana now. You can trade on GTrade on Solana now as well. But that's not my gig. All right. I'm a more serious investor. Like, I want to really know, okay, what can I do here? Now, if you take a look here, this did take shorts and it did take longs. Okay, so you can see long stop, long, long, long. And then, over here, you start getting into shorts. Did really good on this short right here. Right here. It just crushed. All right. It crushed. So anyways, let's take a look, though, at the max drawdown. Max drawdown from when I got into the trade was only 14.03%. All right. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference than me having a max drawdown of 60, 70, 80%, whatever it is. All right. And then look at this. What is our total P&L? Our total P&L would have been 742%. So let's say, for instance, if you would have invested $10,000, that means you would be sitting on $74,004 or $40. All right. As opposed to here, from the time that you got in, you'd be sitting on $10,600. All right. Fail. But again, guys, gals, this is what I want to draw your attention to right here. See how it starts to turn a little red? That means we were not outperforming Tesla. And you can see right here as well, like the green line, right here. The green line dipped below, especially at the beginning. Okay? Because like, let's say, for instance, our algos for Bitcoin right now, they've been tripping. It's gotten chopped out a few times. We've lost some trades, and take a look, like on this one. Now that the losses are limited to 1, 2, 3%, right? But look at this. The amount of profitable trades is only 24 or 27%. So out of 43 trades, only 16 of them made profit, but we cut the losing trades. This is called risk management, right? This is called risk management. And you can see here, all right, there was a total of 59 trades. 16 of them were profitable, 43 were not. Okay. So, but I'll take that all day long. I'll take getting chopped out. I'll take patience over this all day long. I am not a tribalist. I'm not here to, fall on my sword for Bitcoin, Tesla. Guys, let's be real. We're here to make money, and we're here to do things better than our predecessors. Is Bitcoin better than a fiat system? 100%. Is Ethereum better than a fiat system? 100%. All right. Are they going to hopefully start to try to compete with these better ideas that in terms of governments? Hopefully. Let's see. But in the meantime, use the technology. Awesome. All right. Maybe if you do like Bitcoin or whatever, or Tesla, and you just want to hold it just because, hold a little bit, maybe hold 10%. But the rest, come on. Stop being trying to be a martyr. Let's make some money. All right. Now let's talk about NVIDIA. All right. This one looks even juicier. So let's zoom in here. So if I would have bought and held NVIDIA from the time that I got in here, okay, to where it's at today. All right. The price action. Let's see what the price is at today. You can't see. So you're looking at about an 864% return. Okay, that looks way better than Tesla, right? But let's take a look at the drawdown as well. So this one had a drawdown, a max drawdown. So meaning from the top here, this was the top. So if your NVIDIA would have gone soaring up, right? And you're like, oh, awesome, man. Up here it was, I ended up doing a 10x or a 15x. I don't know. I didn't do the math. Okay. Oh, no, it was an 8x. Sorry. No, it wasn't an 8x because I only did it to where it's at today. So yeah, it could have been a 10x, 20x, 12x, whatever. All right. But from there, guess what? You ended up coming down 43%. 43%. All right. And that's just way too much for me. All right. I don't want to watch it because look, and here's the thing, the guys who developed this script right here, I was on their Discord the other day and I'm like, and there was one guy, he's like, oh man, I keep getting chopped out, which happens in this, right? It's just being impatient. And one of the traders came on that have written the script and they're like, look, yeah, you're in some drawdown right now. You're starting to get out of it in terms of USD value. And he goes, but managing the risk is way better than hodling. And he's like, well, why? And he goes, because let's say for Bitcoin, the max drawdown that you can experience is 100%. And some people would be like, that's preposterous. Don't talk about my God, Bitcoin like that. Well, sorry. The fact of the matter is it can. Maybe it doesn't go down 100%. Maybe it goes down 50%, 70%, 80%, 90%. All right. Tell me where Excite is at. For those of you who are old enough to know that that's the OG Google, right? Tell me where Yahoo is at, which was after Excite. Nothing burger. You wouldn't have made any money buying and hodling that. All right. And you would have ridden that thing all the way to the floor and never have come back again. Realistically. I mean, maybe you would have come back a little bit, but not like if you would have been in Google or not like if you would have been managing the risk to the downside. So let me show you the difference. All right. And this is since January of 2021. All right. Which is where I said it. So this one here, and again, you can see the green and the blue. It's very hard to see, but you see the green and the blue flipping often, and you can see it. You can see it right here, and you can see it right here, right? Where the hodl was the thing to do, right? If you would have hodled, you would have done better, but you weren't managing the risk, and you're gonna feel like dog shit. All right. When that thing goes down 40%, yeah, you still have a lot of money, but you're like, man, I could have captured a lot more. But look at what the gain was by managing the risk. So for those of you who don't remember, up here, it was 864%. Really good. This is way better. Give me this all day long. And by the way, we have signals for this available. Do me a favor though, if you've never been here onto my YouTube channel, I'm going to be opening up some slots for our course here in the next couple of weeks. But subscribe to the channel right now, and we'll let you know when that opens up. They're not open right now, but you can see right here. It behooves you to take a peek as to what we're teaching people. All right. Again, this is not instant gratification, though, because you had to have gone through here. And let's take a look, right? Look at what the max drawdown was. Max drawdown was 45%. Max drawdown for us, 15%. Not bad. I'll take a 15% drawdown any friggin' day of the week. All right. But also take a look at this. Profitable trades. Some people think you need to trade profitably every single time. No, you need to cut the losers and you need to let the winners run. That's what you need to do. That's what you get to do. That's what I want to do. All right. Based off all the years that I've been learning, the best way to capture my profits. All right. And it doesn't always feel good. Guys, gals, you can come in here and get chopped around, and you can even see here, look, this line right here, this is the hold line, is starting to come up just a little bit, right? And then, so if I would have just gotten in right now, this this whole thing would basically be looking like this here. So there would be no deviation if you just started this script now. So you have to be patient with these things, all right? They don't just split like that. Usually it's when there's a huge downturn. When there's a huge downturn is when you really start to see the deviations start to split, okay? But when there's just like time of chop or sideways movement or not drastic movements, you'll just start to either see both of these lines flat to each other, adjacent to each other, or this one even start to tick up a little bit more because maybe it's going up a little bit more or whatever. Okay, if it's going down, certainly this line will start to chasm again. All right. So anyways, again, guys, gals, let me see if there's any anybody in the chat. Oh, whoa, we got a lot of comments in here. Let me stop sharing my screen here. Let's see here. Yeah, Larry's been super happy using Gains. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. Let's throw that up there. It's been super happy using Gains. Look at what we have here. Everybody giving hugs. Tesla buy the dip. All right, NZ must be a pretty big Tesla fan there. But yeah, awesome. Let's see here. Guys, gals, anyways, like I said, hit that subscribe button. We have more really good content coming out here in the next few days, actually. And, you know, we want to make sure that you guys enjoy what we're talking about. But I think that these scripts, you're all going to really, really dig. So anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions down below in the description if you're watching the recording. And yeah, we'll answer them there. All right, everybody. Cheers.